Hello, everyone. Hello, Gary. Hello, Bill, Janet. Who else? We got Papa G, John. Good to see everyone here, guys. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. Don't know how long tonight's show is going to be. I was just talking to Ron. I had a asthma attack yesterday. A kind of scary asthma attack. I haven't had one in a long time, and I had it, and with having it, it scared the living bejesus out of me. I'm kind of drained today, so I'm going to do the best I can tonight. It could be anywhere from a 30-minute to 60-minute show, but we're going to do the best we can. And the truth of it is, guys, there's just not a lot of the people. There's not a lot of people out there that are literally giving out a lot of information. I'm going to talk about a couple stories that I need to talk about. One, it could have been parts of me not feeling well, and I'm sick and tired of all the work I do, all the work that you do, Ronnie, Myrna, Ron, Papa G, everybody here, all the stuff that we do as a family, and in one person, because he thinks he's God's gift to the Patriot movement, he comes and tries to just shoot it right down the toilet. And he's starting to remind me of Sue on the big call. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the kids, but I'm going to play the music and say the pledge first, and then we'll come back. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I don't know what we did. Hey, I don't know what we did. That is not out of this, right? Steps right off in and that was that. If tomorrow work for all and I had to start again, just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky star, living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, go from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. The men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no town of this land. God bless the USA. one of those guys you're talking about. Oh, I heard that. One of those that's out there that's in coming. I was thinking that talking out there that said something. God bless America. Proud to be an American. God bless the USA. Hi, Ian Bell. Hi, Beth Shaw. Gary, good to see you. David. Linda, Patrick. Ron's here. So I'm going to start with the kids tonight and get on them right away because, as I said, guys, I'm not 100%, so I'm not sure how long I'm going to last. What is the weather you guys are getting, Janet? Man, it looked like we were going to just have a miserable day. We had a heat index at one time today of 105, and all it was doing was thundering, and we got a little rain, enough to, help the garden, but it cooled it off a little bit now. But, man, I'm telling you, I'm a firm believer, Karen Alsbury and Ian Bell and David. I'm a firm believer. Me and Ron were talking, and Ron said, if they're controlling the weather, we need to take it to where the good people, David and Linda, we need to take it and we need to control the weather. And I think we are. And I'm going to talk about the weather and my feelings about certain things. And I'm going to go as long as I can. But, Super Jimmy, I can't tell you how. I don't know how he's doing, guys. Hey, Beth Shaw. His dad just quit communicating with me. Boom. Haven't heard anything from him. I hope everything's okay. I did see Jimmy was on the Telegram site today with Mr. Stickman there, and they was exchanging Stickmen and pictures of the ones they've lost. And it's a sad thing that this little boy has went through so much, and our hearts and our prayers go out to him. Patriot 11, I was talking to my grandkids today, and you got brought up, and one of the reasons we was talking is I was going through some of my old letters. And last week I got a letter from Julia, and she was standing holding a horse. And I told you this in last week in a meeting. And when my granddaughter seen the horse, she goes, "Oh, I want to learn to ride horses so bad, Grandpa. I want to learn to ride horses." And all of them, actually, all three of the kids that I was watching today, they all three they want to. And I said, "Well, we have an amazing young man that's going to teach us all. We'll get a ranch, and I'm not going to live on the ranch, guys. I'm going to put a nice big place, and anytime anybody wants to come and stay there, we'll have workers there, we'll have cooks there, and you can just take your vacation at this ranch." That is my dream. That's one of my projects, is to be able to give a getaway retreat to the people of this group. And I will talk about that in a little bit too, about the projects. Patriot, Karate Kid, and Wyatt Earp. I was with, like I said, my grandson did, and I had to take him to practice. And we went by a karate martial arts right there within a block of his house. And I said, "Did you ever think about taking that?" And he said, "No, not really." He says, "When would I have time?" And here's a young man that he made sense, because when would he have time? I mean, seriously, this kid is on the go all the time. And then, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. We have our princess, our queen, and Hunter. And guys, I don't know if you guys are friends with Jana, and I should have saved it so I could show everybody. But Jana showed a huge. I'm assuming it was the whole family, and Hunter and our queen was in there, and the smiles. And I told Jana in the thing, I said, "Man, you need to get a big picture. That picture needs to go on your living room wall." It was that beautiful a picture, and part of it was because our little princess, queen, and Hunter was in it. Anyway, you could just see the happiness and joy in their faces as they were smiling like crazy. What do you think about that, Ron? Up there. But anyway, hey, Larry Smith, good to see you. It's hot in Oklahoma. My son just come back from a 7-trip vacation, 7-state vacation. And he said the one thing he's seen every state had in common, he was in Alabama and he was in Tennessee and he was in Arkansas and he was in, a lot of the, southern states. And he said one thing they all had in common, Dad, it was hot. But see, the thing when he was gone for a week, guys. And as he was gone for a week, I thought, oh, wow, his wife's not there. The grandkids ain't there. I can go take my lounge chair, and I can just get out there and just lounge and get sun all week long. I never got in the pool one time. We had terrible weather last week. Well, not terrible as far as the heat waves go and bad, but just I wanted it hot last week. I wanted to live in that pool. So anyway, as I said, Jana, you need to get a picture taken. That picture taken and blown. You can even send me an 8x10. I'll hang it on my wall. I'm going to be proud to when I get my new home and I want to get, guys, kids, I want to get a room in my new home that is just dedicated for you kids. And I'm hoping your parents will all send me pictures of you guys so I can get 8x10s put up, because you've been a big part of this patriotic kids movement. Patriot Boogs, Boogaloo, Boogaroo, and Boogie. John was talking about Boogs today with Jimmy and that, and Stickman was really good today, guys. He was really good. He had a lot of good stick stuff on there. Some of it I don't have a Stoneball Jansen toothpicks double what he's talking about, but he seems to be having fun, and that's what we're here for, is to have fun. Patriot Leona and Leona, my two favorite names. They're my two aunts' name, my mom and my aunt's name, and for people to name their children after them two people, to me, to keep their legacy going. And I was talking the other day and thinking, wow, when we go back in time and I get with Julia, if we was decide to have children, what would we name a little girl? And there'd be no doubt in my mind. And I know my daughter would get a little disappointed because, my granddaughter's middle name is that, but she had the right to name my granddaughter. She had the right to name her Leona also. So I think Grandpa Mike, Great Grandpa Mike did good in naming them. We just got such tremendous kids in this group. And as I said last Friday night, guys, sometimes I just get thinking about the way things are going. And when I get thinking like that, it's a situation where, Patriot Smiley and Patriot Haley, I miss them two kids. And there was others, but them two, when they was with the group, they stood out, Vicky, David and Janet and Jeffrey, Ian. They stood out as the kids that was there. And how many times, Patriot Haley would call me and get me on the phone or get in one of our meetings that we had when we were having the big meetings with all the groups. How many times she would get on and she would sing something or say something. I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't understand sometimes what she was doing, but her being a kid, not someone that had this in front of their face or a tablet, I love it when I see kids do things and to show you about the kids doing things. My next door neighbor lives right across the street from me. The girl that lives there, she's 2 years older than my son. My son will be 42. So she's 43, probably be 44. And her and her daughters went on vacation. I thought the whole family was going. I didn't know that a little girl and the dad were staying home. So the other day I told them, I'll get your garbage cans and I'll take them back, last Tuesday on garbage day. And they said, thank you. I didn't know the dad was home and he got them. I thought the grandma had come down and got him. That's something she don't need to do. So UPS came to drop off something, and I was going to wait till they put it on the porch, go get it, and take it down to grandma's house so it didn't sit out. And all of a sudden I see a man and a little girl come out. And I said, wait a minute. I thought you was going away on vacation. Well, he had to work, so he kept her with a babysitter, and they stayed home. But me and this little girl got talking, and she telling me how she misses my little doggy. But me and the guy got talking about when I was growing up, I had one rule with my parents, and that was get outside and play. Well, two rules. Get outside and play, and when you get outside and play, be in your yard by the time the street lights come on. And then I started telling him the story, kids, about when I was a kid growing up, because I was showing him where I used to live, which is not a house there no more, but I could show him because of the hill there. I lived right on the hill. And I said, all these houses here used to be a field, and down the field, and then there behind your house, there used to be a sheep pen. And he's just like, he's getting to learn things. He had no clue about what was going on in his house and that. Oh, excuse me. So, it's good if you just talk. The little girl, she's cute, and she gets to go now, Janet and David and Larry, she gets to go to a water park next week for her vacation. And she's 5 years old or 6 years old. She got to stay home with her daddy all by herself, except for the babysitter. And to say she's been spoiled these few days, that's an understatement. But anyway, then I got my grandkid, super gymnast, who I seen today for the first time in over 2 weeks. We played a game, and I didn't even know what the game was. And I don't know if she let me win or she deliberately didn't win, but I did win, and I give the win to Patriots, small gymnast, because me and her were partners. She doesn't quite understand certain points, which she understood more than I did, but it is what it is. Patriot 7, Liam, who was busy, he started to play, and he was just a total butthole. I made him go in the other room. I said, no, we're here trying to have fun. Patriot Small Hank and Patriot Kira went to a water park. Imagine that. Just came off a vacation for 8 days. They was at hotels where they swim every day. Every night they was at a hotel where they swim. They went to the ocean. They did nothing but swimming, and then they go and pay money to go to a water park that they had to pay for when they got a membership to another water park that they could have went to. It's like, whoa. But that concludes today's version of the kids. And kids, remember, this video is not for you. It's not made for you. It's actually for adults only, but we let you watch it if you have permission from your parents, grandparents, legal guardians, someone that's going to take the pressure off of me. I am not a financial advisor, so anything I say about money tonight, I'm saying because of the things I know and the things I want it to happen. That being said, and also the music I played tonight, we have no legal rights to. We're playing it because it's kind of become our theme song, and we played it so long, I don't think YouTube is going to say anything anymore about us playing it unless the particular version that we play, someone who actually posted that version might come back and say, hey, I don't want them using it. And I don't see that happening. So like I said, that concludes tonight's version of the kids. Enjoy if you watch. Go out. But, instead of doing that, the sun is shining. It's getting ready to get dark, but the sun is shining. Go outside and have some fun. Don't you think that'd be a good idea, Ian and David and Soretta and Janet and John and David and Ann? And, whoa, we got some people on here now. But anyway, that takes care of the kids. Now, where are we? After the weekend, we keep hearing, guys, they want it done. They want everything done by the end of the month. They want us with our 800 numbers and starting to go. Well, heads up, Mr. President. I heard you say this. I heard you say that is what you want. Heads up. The end of the month is 4 days away. You got the 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. So I suggest you get the beep, 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 beep going to everybody. I suggest you get the 800 numbers going out. And I suggest you get out of your tuxedo. You're not a penguin. You're a president. And you start taking care of the people the way the people have taken care of you for so long. We have taken care of you so many years. So it's time you start taking care of us. I'm tired of false promises. I'm tired of you coming out. Now, I seen you the other day, Mr. President. I seen you in a video, a show where you really kind of ripped the mainstream. And some in particular, I liked it when you went after the people who think they're like Johnny Carson, that type of person like that. When you went after them, I really liked it because I agree. The guys that you mentioned, they're not. The only thing they're funny about. Get back with me later, and I'll see if I can figure something out because I don't see anything funny. And I remember there's one of them. There was one of them, guys. One of these, and I'm not going to mention names because I'm not going to take a chance of getting in trouble for slandering somebody. But there was one of them that my daughter and her son-in-law, they used to think was really, really funny. And then I showed him something. I showed him something that a guy by the name of, I can't even think of his name, he played Chachi in Happy Days. He played Chachi, he was the cousin to Fonz. But he just came out with a list the other day again. And people, when things are getting posted like this, him coming out and someone posting it on our Telegram site about the people, Rosie and there's people like that. When this happens, I like seeing it. Because, it makes me feel that people are really understanding what's going on now. That I really believe David Duffy, and the reason I said him twice, because when I went to say his name popped up again. And Vicky, I really believe that more people are opening their hearts and their minds. I've been having a lot of people who I chat with online that I never ever say anything about the Patriot movement. They know I'm a Patriot. They ask me what I'm doing. I tell them. But now all of a sudden it's, can you tell me about this revaluation? Because I tell them I'm going to become a very wealthy man. And when I start to tell them about the revaluation, they say, well, how much money did you put into it? Well, that's none of your business. Not much. And one voice, they'll ask questions, but they're starting to open up more. And you want to open someone's eyes. You want to get that flicker of hope that you can reach someone. Seattle, 1975. Look at someone and say, we're about ready to experience the greatest wealth transformation in the history of the world. But don't stop there. Ask them if they know about their birth certificates. And they go, well, yeah, I have one. But you don't have the original one. Well, yes, I do. No, you don't, because the original one has been trading as a commodity your whole life. And I was talking to a young woman today online, and we and her were chatting, and I said, you're about ready to come in to several $1 million. I said, people know you and you're very successful at what you do. And I says, you don't even know what's about to happen. And what's about to happen is literally going to change your life financially. But not only your life, it's going to change your mom. And she says, well, tell me more about it. And when I told her, she says, can you hold on a minute? And I said, yeah. And we're chatting on in that. And we was doing a little chat where we could hear each other's voices. And all of a sudden she said, okay, can you tell me the same thing you just told me? And I said, you don't understand it? And she says, I do, but I got my mom on the phone here too. So she wants to hear it. And this is a family, a young lady and her mom that are very close. And they've struggled because the dad just totally, I'm sorry. And I'm proud to be a man, but I don't see how any man can be such a deadbeat to walk out on their daughter and their wife. Just walk out just because, well, it got a little bit tough. Well, when it gets a little tough, you got to get tougher than that, oh man. You got to step up. And now giving them this ray of hope. They're going, oh my God, when do you think? Now I'm answering question after question after question. When do you think it's going to happen? And I tell them, Vicki, I don't know. They want it to happen by the end of the month. Could be early next week. I said, according to Bruce, and there's not one person out there that doesn't think it's going to happen very, very soon. Very soon. But the thing is, Janet, David, Papa G, One Voice, Vicky, Ian, if someone comes to you, Jeffrey, and says, I'd like to tell you this, but I'm under an NDA. Bull crap. They're not under NDAs yet. They might be going to be put under one, but they're not under them yet. I mean, we got a guy out there that, hey, guys, guys, I just want to tell you guys that this guy out here, guys, every other week, he is under another NDA. I'm surprised he can spell it. But anyway, that's the guy I wanted to talk about. That's the guy I wanted to talk about is, guys, when I'm on this show, I do everything I can. And I told you at the beginning of the show, I don't feel good. And I don't. But you can tell by the tone of my voice, I am doing everything I can to make this the best show I can because that's who I am. Every show I do, I always try to stay positive to keep you guys, Janet and Betty and Jeffrey and David. I try to keep the vibrations up for all of us. And then I go into this site today, and this man says, when you go to the Redemption Center, you better have a very good, very professional humanitarian project written down. If it is not good, they're not even going to listen to you. Man, that hit a nerve with me today, David, Tony, Janet, One Voice. That hit a nerve with me. And I went on these people's site and I said, you know what? I'm probably going to get kicked off of this site. And quite frankly, I could give a rat's patoot because, see, I'm tired of working and getting people like Ronnie, over on Telegram, getting people like Myrna, getting people like Diane, getting people like Savior, getting people like everyone here that's over here in our chat room and the other people who's just watching the show. I'm sick and tired of working our butts off to tell people what we need to do, what we think they need, because nobody has been to a redemption center yet, Ian Bell and David Duffy in One Voice. Nobody has. So these people that are going out there and selling programs, they're selling lies. They're selling hype. They're selling nothing but lies because they have not been in there. And they can say, well, I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. I could care a rat's butt about that. They don't know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. They're going out there and they have made very much money off of people like us, not me. And I hope not anybody in our group. But there's so many people in this world that is so hungry to find out, to just get some kind of a bone thrown to them, that they listen to these people. And to go out and say, if you don't have a professional thing for your projects, they will not even talk to you. You have to be professional. He literally, everything I tell you guys, he's literally trying to take away. And I did not hold back. I told him how the hog ate the cabbage, and I'm tired of him crying and whining and moaning. And yes, I like the man when he wants to stick to the facts. But I'm tired of him talking about people, cutting people down. Then when someone says something to him, well, they're all threatening. Nobody's threatening this man. There's no one out here threatening anybody. We're all in this together. How is he going to tell us in the United States of America what we have to do when he's down under? Just because he's a little bit ahead of us in time does not mean he knows more than us. He is in this thing, and he does. I don't even know if he has any foreign currency. I know he has a lot of bonds. So now all of a sudden he doesn't have foreign currency, or if he does, it's a little. Now all of a sudden he is the expert on the tier 4B. He is the expert on everything. And he can take his Mauricio and stick him where the sun don't shine. Mauricio will lend you money to get your project going. Why? If you have Zim, you're going to get your own money because they're going to give it to you. I want to ask you a question. Herman, Gary, and whatever, I didn't catch it all. Papa G and Tony. My question is, how do you know exactly what to put down for your project? How do you know exactly what to put down when you don't know what kind of money you're going to have? If they look at me and say, this is what I can give it, guys, with the help of Eileen, when this first started 3-4 years ago, we put together a program. This is what we think you're going to need. And it's going to get you in the door, and you're going to follow it. What does it take to put down? Hey, my number one project is the kids. It used to be my town here, but it's turned into the kids. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to tell them, here's my number one project. I want to get every child in the United States, every child in the world. I want to find them parents. We're going to use a phrase from the show, the movie Field of Dreams. We're going to build it, and they will come. Because just in the Ukraine and Russia alone, over 850,000 soldiers, men and women, have lost their lives because of a stupid war. It wasn't really stupid when it started, but it turned stupid because once the children were saved, the other country that started it should have just backed out and left. But no, they got greedy because now they don't want to leave until they get their land back that was rightfully theirs. Okay, so then believe me, I talk to people in Ukraine. There's thing. They want the Donbass region. Let them have it. They can have it back. We don't want it. We want freedom. And over the weekend, they had freedom. They got to go to a park and the little cutie pie. Because I did not mention cutie pie and Patriots 17 in the kids. Little cutie pie. She got to pick dandelions and turn them, put them together, and make herself a little crown-like deal because she wants to be a princess. I would call her our princess here, but we already have a princess. Now, it's funny because we've been calling her Cutie Pie since she become part of our kids group. Her mother is now calling her Cutie Pie. The people around her are calling. That's what the power. And my project is the kids. We're going to go into orphanages in them 2 countries that are at war. I don't know if I'll go into Iran. I don't know if I want to trust them. If there even is an Iran, because I don't know if you guys seen, they made some mistakes and they went after the USS Abraham Lincoln the other day. And from what I understand, that's the biggest mistake that country's ever made in their existence. And I do not think 45-47 is going to put up with it. But anyway, what I'm saying, guys, is you just go in and I don't know David and Jeffrey. I know Patriot Diane and there's a lot of people here that they're going to work with Patriot 5, Patriot 6 humanitarian projects. They want to just work with them. I know Cindy and others. And once again, guys, it's been so long since you guys sent me the information. If you do want to work with us, let me know, because my feelings is, and I won't know until I go to the Redemption Center, but my feelings is if there's 20 people that want to work with us and you don't have any projects, you're just going to work with us. You're going to take a job because, that's a great thing about how do we tell how much money a project's going to cost? We don't know. This is what we're going to tell them. And the one thing Eileen told me, and she put it in our thing, we're asking for the moon on most of these things. And we're not asking for a year or 2 years. We're asking for 50 and 100. Do we want to be around when the project ends? Yeah. So what does that mean? It means to go and get on the bets. So if anybody happens to be on Telegram and they read what I said to this guy, it wasn't I was in a bad mood when I read it. It's just that I'm tired of people taking money. I'm tired of people coming out and the work that I do to build your guys' vibrations up. They just go and they tear them apart. Let's talk about the beds. I was talking to some people today, and this one lady happened to say to me, they said, wow, I don't know how much longer I can keep going, Ralph. I said, well, what's the matter? She says, Ralph, my arthritis is, this weather we're having, I can't hardly get out of bed in the morning. I said, Karen, I told her, I said, just make yourself get out because it's not going to be much longer. And she says, what do you mean? And I started telling her about these amazing beds, these special beds, I wish I could say the name, but I probably can now, but I don't want to chance it. And she said, are you kidding me? I said, no. So I said, give me your email address. And she did, and I sent her a couple messages over. She got back with me about an hour later, and she said, oh my God, Ralph, if this is true, when we meet, I'm going to give you the biggest kiss in the world. And I'm thinking, well, okay, But it just, God, there's so many people, Bill Woods, Janet. I keep thinking about Michael, who used to come on the show. Michael used to get in with us. And when we would do these special just for certain people, and Michael would be there. He's always laying on a bed in his tighty whities. And I'm thinking, why won't that man put a pair of pants on? I really don't want to sit here and watch an old boy. But then I found out what's wrong with him. And now Michael, the last thing I heard, is in a nursing home. And I wish Myrna was on because I know Myrna used to keep pretty close tabs on him. And I really would like to know how he's doing because, see, right here, if you go out Ron's door and walk straight across, the family that's lived in that house no other families lived there my whole life. And the son had taken it over, and he was one of these that didn't want to work. So he let himself go. And we let himself go as like, what's going on? Now he's in a nursing home. He got so far behind, the guy just paid off all his bills and took the house. They literally have to. I don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. The money they're spending, I would have just knocked the house down and built a new one. I'm serious. They are literally going down 6-7 feet deep all around the house because they have to completely redo the walls on every wall in the basement. A basement that when Ron and my brother Russ, I was a lot younger, I did get to go to some. The two girls that lived there, the other friends in town on Friday and Saturday night, that's where they hung out. They didn't worry about going on dates. They got 10, 12, 14 kids down there in that basement. They played music. They drank Pepsi Cola. Hey, if you really wanted to get rambunctious, you put some peanuts in your Pepsi. Anybody ever do that? Take a little bag of planter peanuts and put them in your pop, your Pepsi. Anybody done that? I'm sure you have. But see, that was the good days. And when you speak about the good days, guys, I went over to the gas station last night to get me and Ron something to drink. And when I went over there to get us something to drink, a lady was working. It's usually my cousin working, who was more like a sister to me growing up. But this lady was working, and she's only 19 years old. And I got teasing her about a couple kids the other day that was in Casey's, and they got a pizza. And when they walked by me and said, oh, so you're the two girls that got my pizza, and now I got to wait for them to make me another one. And I was teasing them, and they thought I was serious. And, I thought they were going to cry. So I go outside, and I'm telling their mom, who's sitting in the car waiting for them. I'm telling her what happened. And in telling her, she's laughing. So she said, are you going back in? I said, yeah, I'm going to act like I'm waiting. She says, I'll get them when they come out. So they come out, and they got the pizza, and they get in the car. And I walk out, and the girl that took the pizza starts to duck down. And the mom says, oh, is that the guy that you stole his pizza? And she goes, and she says, well, I wanted to let you know he was just joking with you. But guys, you go out and you have fun. And that's why I got so disappointed with that guy when he made this statement. I'm tired of people coming on and saying there just isn't a lot of news, and there's not. But you can talk about things from the past. Go watch that thing from the kid that played Chachi about the people. I sent that over to a few people and they go, wow, is this true? Is this real? And I'm thinking, yeah, it's true. It's real. So the stuff I wanted to talk about, that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to see what kind of information we got for the show tonight. And actually, I went longer than I thought. We're at 40 minutes, so, but I can't find where I want to be. Oh, I was talking to my niece today. And she really loves Paul Walker. And I sent her a picture of a certain person taking a mask off, and it's Paul Walker. So my niece gets back to me and says, Uncle Ralph, is this true? And I said, from everything I'm understanding, it is. I said, now I don't know if it's went public yet. I don't think that particular person has stepped down. I don't believe they've actually did it, but this is just showing you what's going to happen. And she said, but I love Paul Walker. Does that make him bad? Did he really pass away? And I said, no. Well, what about the other guy that he's impersonating? And I said, from what I understand, not real good. And I can't go into a lot of detail, but if you understand Paul Walker and what he's supposed to be doing, and you understand the letters JD and his last name, and he might be real close to the president, But it's just something, guys, that there's going to be a lot of masks come off. So when you tell people that, it's pretty cool. I meant to tell you guys, Patriots super gymnast has a boyfriend. This is her boyfriend. He's about 3 inches shorter than her. He's a good kid. When I found out they were boyfriend and girlfriend, I stopped him one day and I said, hey, boy, you dating my granddaughter? Yes, sir. I mean, I think he was about ready to pee his pants. But no, he's a good kid. Here's something that I had got, and it's about the currency exchange bond redemption protocols of the XRP quantum financial system. Everybody who has bought foreign currency or ZIM bonds from a certified dealer will receive an email, text, or phone call from Wells Fargo that contains 800 numbers to call for your exchange redemption appointments. This 800 number can be sent to others for the use. When you call the 800 number, you will be asked questions, confirm your identity. They will then route you to a regional call center closet closest to your home or your location of your choice where you will make your appointment. Arrive at your appointment no sooner than 10 minutes before your appointment will last around 30 minutes. A redemption guide will meet you and help you throughout your appointment and go through 9 stations. Station 1, know your client, present your ID. 2 picture IDs are recommended. You will be given a Renaissance scan of your biometric vibrations that will detect the bad guys. If you don't pass the scan, you cannot exchange or redeem. Station 2, currency exchanges, ZIM bonds redemption. You will hand over your currency and or bonds to be verified and counted. It is recommended that you keep pictures of all your currency and bonds in case of questions about their validity. It also is recommended that you have the currency and or bonds separated and accounted for on a cover sheet so that there is no questions about what you turned over. It is station 2, where if you have been given currency or bonds, you will hand over notarized and signed gift letters done by whoever gave you the currency or bonds. If you do not have gift letters, you cannot exchange those bonds or currency you were given. Also at station 2, you will do actual exchange. If you have dinar, ask them for contract or special rate, whichever is higher. I have heard the dinar special rate is anywhere from 11 to 17 as compared to international rate of just over $4. Station 3, security protection. Your own biometric vibration is added to your quantum access account and quantum card, QAAC. Station 4, you will supply a password and create your own quantum access account and card. Station 5, you will receive a quantum computer and quantum phone. Station 6, you will create your own QFS transfer accounts. Station 7, you will receive your QAAC ATM card. Station 8, you will request gold/asset-backed cash, checks, and proof of funds letter. Station 9, the 9 Human Initiative Trust, you can present a 15 to 30 second snaps of your humanitarian projects and a 3 to 10 minute project presentation. You give them a 3 to 4 page copy of your project, and you have them sign and date your second copy that you keep. You will need to tell them how much money you need for the project in the first 90 days, including what it will be used for. During your exchange, you will be required to sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. That agreement will normally last 90 days. The NDA is recorded, and stored on your account and the quantum financial system. Read the NDA carefully before you sign. If you violate any NDA or QFS account, will be frozen and you will lose all of your money. My question, and I believe about 90% of what I just read to be true, but my question is, Larry, David, Gary, Bill, Melvet, Janet, Bill, has any of you been at a redemption center? How do you know what you need for 90 days? But my main point here is, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, they will take your money away and you'll get nothing. Then where are we changing? All they're doing is trying to manipulate us, scare us into going in and having a bad day. What's that? Yeah, as Ron said, maybe what they want you to do is just go in and say, hey, we're just going to pick one of your projects. You can have the money for it, and we don't even want to worry about it. And if I wasn't so adamant about the kids and the animals, I would. And as Ron said, they may have a project for the kids. We may be able to slide right in there. I've got my stuff ready. You know, I supplied people who is going to go with stuff. But my thing is don't let them bully you. Just go in the best you can, because you're not going in talking about, if you have Zim bonds, you're not going in talking about a few bucks here. You're not going in talking about, well, they're going to give me $1 million a year for the rest of my life. You know, everybody's going to have money. So why are we trying to stronghold us? And that's what I don't understand. Restored Republic via the GCR, Judy Bidington. Please be aware that I report this news as I find it to credit articles of their original author and am not responsible for contact information and posts from articles from social media. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read. Guys, I'm going to have to just start going in. Since Judy quit, the way they're bringing it in, you can't read it. By the time you start, I'll read as much as I can. White Hats began mass arrest over 2 million indictments, world's largest military sting operation covering over 32 countries, including arresting 312 federal employees, 15 U.S. university presidents, 47 contractors, 3 Congress members, and 8 judges, while running in partnership with foreign government. A 47 million per year illegal bioweapon research to be sprayed on the people to reduce population. God will not compete with the glitter, the glamour, and the hope. God will only be there for us because it's all in his hands. Then it goes back and talks about the White Hats beginning mass arrests. Some of the most recent arrests surrounded the U.S. universities, presidents, and federal judges. The deep state has been using federal agency networks to coordinate a massive coup in an attempt to overthrow American government. The coup against the Hat and the American people was recently discovered by the Hat's intelligence team. The basis of the coup was to conduct illegal bioweapons research at the U.S. universities. They found 312 federal employees ran the $47 million per year operation that funded deep state and black operations across multiple federal agencies. Every single federal agency had a chief diversity officer who reported to the shadow network operating inside the Department of Justice. Involved were 15 universities. I've already read that. The money flows through shell organizations, universities, and nonprofits. Swift transfer records proved $8.3 billion in fraudulent research grants went to certain U.S. universities. The Hats Global Military Alliance has already arrested 312 federal employees in connections with this coup. The second wave would target university presidents and contractors. The third wave arrest would be coming for Congress and judiciary. Additionally, at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last week, the Hat hinted at arrest in a $2.7 billion fraud operation. On Saturday morning, 25th July 2026, military intelligence conducted a raid across Texas, Washington, D.C., and other locations while arresting 47 officials. They seized several Swiss transfers, records, and encrypted communications. The operations was believed funded through the companies in the Cayman Islands and Cyprus. Military tribunals on those involved in the coup would begin in live broadcast on Saturday, 1 August 2026. Tribunals on voter cases were to begin Saturday, August 15th. The Hat was preparing a 48-hour national address to discuss the above and other critical issues. This blackout and national address was coming very soon. A power shift to military control and operating the door is awakening. On Saturday, 1 August 2026, when the light turned back on, nothing would ever be the same. On Sunday, 26 July 2026, at 6:50 a.m., the EBS went off in Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, and New York City, Philadelphia, and Seattle. What we thought we knew, but we really know and now are supposed to know, but don't have a clue, with clones, doubles, made up movies, Hollywood styles, and the Hats Military Alliance throwing more popcorn at us. It gets so confusing. Then they talk about Nicholas Tesla invented a vibrating mechanical system in 1894, but was never let to be released because it would have went all against the cabal's interest. Possible timing: July 25th, 2026. Military alliance and 107 JFK Jr. released an updated explosive special beds activation schedule timed with global EBS blackout and gold back QFS lock that the cabal will melt down. 26th of July, sources close to the White House and military alliance confirmed its latest special bed rollout timeline, and President the Hat's powerful Truth Social video declaring the technology real and the cabal's medical monopoly finished forever. The rest of it, pretty much, I've already read. EBS activation to begin hopefully within the next 72 hours. Banks are ready. Everything is ready for the final phase of the revaluation system for all the way down to tier 4B and just the regular people. So right now, what Judy is saying, guys, in a nutshell, everything's ready to go. Everything's there. As we come to the end of the night show, Lord, we come to each other. We talk to each other about all the happy days that are about to happen. The days that you've been waiting for so long, Lord, to get us to where we need to be, to put us where we want to be, and to have us do the things we need to do. We have stuck by your side for so long. You chose this group of people here tonight, other groups of people who believe in patriotism, believe in the United States of America, and believe in the world. And we're all here to work together for you, Lord. We come to you, talk to you, and pray to you to make this happen, bring it home, and let us live in the world that you always wanted to do. As we come to you and pray to you through our Savior, your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Good night, everyone. See you Wednesday night. Maybe Bruce has some good information. Maybe we just get some good information. I think it could be a good week, but I'm going to say that until it is a good week. Good night, everyone. God bless, and we'll see you Wednesday night.